We are live, Sarah.
Yay! Doo-doo-doo.
Now, the other day, Sarah,
Yes.
you were telling me how much you hated, or not hated, how
Oh,
much you
here we
could
go.
not get into a
Uh-huh.
text-written novel or a choice of,
Yes,
a game
yes,
that
yes.
offered choices based on your choices. A text adventure, should
Mm-hmm.
you say. Reminds me of the old books. I used to like these when I was a kid, the Choose Your Own Adventure books. But you told me that
Oh, yeah.
you needed a paperback book to lay down and get comfortable with to really get into it. But
Yes.
I challenged you at that point
You did challenge me.
by buying Choice of Robots and said we're going to do this, damn it. And you didn't think you didn't think there was a chance in hell you were going to enjoy it. But I have
That's
video
true.
proof of you laughing,
Yes, you
getting into
do.
it, and having a good time. Let's say that with the first
I was
chapter of Choice of
having a
Robots.
good time because I did clarify at the end while I was having a good time and I was enjoying reading the story with you, it still is not the same as a book for me.
Right.
So, but yes, I did enjoy myself.
But you also
And I
did say
didn't
that
even think I'd do that, so that's nice.
that's true. You did say that you thought a lot of it was because you were interacting with. If you did it
True.
yourself, you didn't think you'd have as much fun. Um, Here we are.
True. If I did this on my own, I wouldn't enjoy it. That is true.
So we have a robot now, Sarah, that we created in chapter one named
Yes.
GardyLoo,
Yes.
and he has to. Let's go ahead and back and remember he has human legs. We were going to make him out of plastic, but we were talking to
Well,
make him out of
not
metal.
really human legs,
Well,
but
right,
yeah,
but he
he
has
has a
legs. Yeah,
typical robot body.
right.
Mm-hmm.
He's not on wheels, or he doesn't fly, or nothing like
Right.
that.
Or the tank treads.
The tank treads, yeah. He has a puppet doll face, if I remember right,
Yeah. He has a little puppet head.
and he has a gunman type arm.
He has a Mega Man
Mega Man, yes, not
arm.
gunman, Mega Man.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Mega Man
Yes.
type arm, and a gun arm basically.
So he's
And
cute but lethal.
cute but lethal, and his name is GardyLoo, and Sarah is
GardyLoo.
already really invested in this robot. She's telling me how much she's dreaming about him and how much she's worried about what will happen to him in this game.
No, I'm not, but
Oh, okay.
okay.
Well, that sounded good for the moment. All right. Anyway,
Did.
let's go ahead and get on. Shall we continue the way we've been doing, Sarah, where we trade off
Yes.
pages? All right.
Sure.
Chapter 2, Machine and Learning. Welcome to the stream, everybody. Well, ladies went first, and ladies will go first again.
Oh, okay, I'm going again?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Okay. Well, what are we our friend that starts with the E, what did we decide to call him because we weren't for sure of his name? Aisha, was it?
Asia?
Asia. That's
Yeah.
right. Okay. Asia.
Yep.
The next day, you take GardyLoo to the Stanford Hackerspace, which has more tools for electronics than the fabrication shop. None of the other students are around in the morning on a Sunday, but the long stainless steel workbenches are littered with their strange half-finished projects. A disassembled Furby, a potato gun, a circuit board connected to a house plant. Oh God, I can't remember his name again. I keep wanting to call him something else.
Asia.
Asia.
Yeah,
Sorry.
like country.
Gosh.
Just think of the country.
I know.
ASIA. Yeah.
I know it's pronounced some other way, but it drives me crazy. I'll find out later. Asia knows you'll need a little time with the motors, so he's coming in later. Sorry, GardyLoo, but I'm going to have to power you down for a moment, you say. We're going to switch you to a new power source. You here? GardyLoo asks. Yes, I'll be here, you say. Okay, GardyLoo says. You fiddle with the smartphone lodged in GardyLoo's back, exit the application that is GardyLoo's mind, and power it down. What will you use for a power source? A car battery. It's big and bulky, but also inexpensive and locally made. A motorcycle battery, not quite as bulky nor as powerful as the car battery. A biodiesel engine, good for the environment, and everybody likes the smell of French fries. Cell phone batteries made in China, lightweight and cheap, while providing reasonable power. Clearly the best choice for a dexterous robot.
Hmm.
Sorry, everyone. I'm having throat problems today. So
Car battery might be cheap and inexpensive, but it's big and bulky, and I don't think that's going to fit our robot well. So that's out. Motorcycle battery, not quite as bulky or as powerful. I think that's going to be out as well. A biodiesel engine, good for the environment. Everybody likes the smell of French fries. Or a cell phone batteries made in China, lightweight and cheap while providing reasonable power. Clearly the best choice for a Dexter. It seems like cell phone batteries seem like they would.
welcome in, Kessels. Nice to see you in today.
Cell phone batteries seem like they would powering a robot. It seems like they might run low on. Like this. I can't imagine them lasting very long powering a robot.
Well, like I said, reasonable power.
Yeah. Biodiesel engine. That doesn't sound like a power source, but it sounds like something that uses energy.
Well, it's an engine, yeah, that runs on biodiesel fuel.
Yeah. You know what? We're gonna have a French fry smelling freaking GardyLoo. Whatever. Yeah, let's just do that. All right.
Okay.
All right. You're more environmentally and socially conscious than most inventors, ready to sacrifice some elegance in the name of saving the planet. You have your buckets full of leftover grease from a nearby fast food restaurant all ready to go. People near GardyLoo will find his smell McDonald's French fries strangely comforting. Plus to empathy. You'll need a lot of motors to be able to power your full robot. In addition to the motors, he needs, when he walks, the motors will power his gun arm. He also needs motors for moving his head and his eyes. But after speccing out the power available to you, you can splurge by adding extra motors in one place. What will it be? Okay, so we're going to give him extra motors to power part of his body, or part of his robotic. Extra degrees of freedom in the face for realistic facial expressions. I will add motors that stabilize the aim of GardyLoo's gun arm. Or I would prefer to save the power for GardyLoo's mind.
Ooh.
Interesting choice there.
Yeah, well, it would be good to stabilize the arm. It would also be good for GardyLoo's mind because you don't want him to freak out.
Well, you want him smart too. Yeah.
Right.
We don't want a dumb robot, right?
That's true.
I don't know.
Ooh, I would say.
Yeah, I would say it's between number 2 and 3. Facial expressions.
Yeah,
who
it
cares?
is for sure. My gosh, this is hard.
That's what she said. My gosh, this is hard.
Really?
I'm just saying. You just said it. I'm just repeating you.
Uh-huh.
That's what she said, guys.
I'm gonna. This is not easy because I know that a proper aim is always a good thing,
True.
especially since it's a gun arm.
Mm-hmm.
But again, you need him to have a stable, powered mind because if he doesn't, then it's not going to matter how much you stabilize the arm.
True.
I'm going to say number 3.
Okay. I can't argue with you at all. Sounds like a good choice to me. All right. So we're going to have extra power for his mind.
Mm-hmm. Okay, my turn?
Mm-hmm.
You decide not to add any more motors to GardyLoo. The extra power could be used to overclock GardyLoo's multi-core CPUs instead. You suppose you could call GardyLoo hot-headed. Sorry.
That's funny.
It's about lunchtime when Asia enters the hackerspace wearing a red crew-cut shirt and shorts fit for the summery weather outside. He's carrying a shiny black bento box and an... I don't know what that word is.
Our Guardiola? I don't know.
I'm not for sure.
Yeah.
Microcontroller, both of which he sets down on the countertop of half-finished parts. Hey, Veronica, he says, I thought you might have forgotten about lunch, so I brought extra for you. He looks at GardyLoo's frame with interest. Okay, your choices are, what are you working on, Asia? Why is she asking, what are you working on? Okay, anyway, You brought lunch for me? Thank you. You shouldn't have. Hang on. I was in the middle of a thought. Which one?
Hang on, I was in the middle of a thought. You brought lunch for me. Thank you. You shouldn't have. What are you working on, Asia? I guess I'll choose number 3. Hang on, I was in the middle of a thought. That intrigues
me. Okay.
We got a lot to read here.
Ooh.
All right.
Yep.
You are in the middle of thinking about how to use less power for the existing motors when Asia came in, and you don't want to lose the thought. Something about recognizing the existing momentum and allowing it to carry the arms forward rather than continuously powering them with servos. Yes, that was it. You quickly go to GardyLoo's control menu and hot-load the necessary code. Plus, Grace, you're vaguely aware that Asia doesn't appreciate being ignored like this, but so be it. Ooh, so he doesn't like being ignored. We learned something. Asia examines GardyLoo's body. It's kind of cute, he says. I've got to hand it to you. Thanks, you say. You hold down the power on GardyLoo's back, and he boots to life again. Good morning, you tell GardyLoo. Good morning, GardyLoo says, imitating you. Cute, Asia says. GardyLoo walks toward Asia. Asia cautiously waits for GardyLoo to approach. The robot does so and extends a hand with his arm that isn't a gun. I am GardyLoo, he says. Asia relaxes and offers his hand. Asia, pleased to meet you, GardyLoo. And they shake. Estimated strength of Asia's relationship with GardyLoo? 50, says GardyLoo. Funny. So the robot is evaluating the relationship with him and Asia.
Yes.
Okay. So estimated strength of Asia's relationship with GardyLoo? 50, says GardyLoo. Oops, you say?
I didn't know GardyLoo sounded like that.
Yeah, well, he does now. Oops, you say? I left some debug statements in there. 50, huh? Asia says. What's that out of? Estimated strength of Asia's relationship with Veronica? 53. Okay. Asia, just like I did, Asia laughs nervously. I wonder how that's calculated, he murmurs. GardyLoo looks to you. I think we'll be friends, Master. That's all for now, you tell GardyLoo. I'm impressed how far you've come, Asia tells you. I didn't know your robots could speak. Well, these are still mostly stock phrases I programmed in, you say. I need to train him to speak for real soon. And he says, you should show Josh, Asia says. He'll be so excited. And you shrug. Maybe I will, you say. Then he looks at the wall, or the clock on the wall, and says, crap, I'm late for a volunteering event. I gotta go. You didn't even finish your lunch, you point out. I'm a busy guy, Asia says. Well, I'm done here too, you say. I'll walk with you for a bit. Asia says, sure. What kind of volunteering event is it, you ask? You interested? Asia says. I am teaching science to elementary school kids, he points out to GardyLoo. You could show them GardyLoo. That would be perfect. Now would be a good time to show GardyLoo to Josh to see whether he's interested in funding his further development. So showing him to elementary school kids or to Josh. Okay, I should show the robot to Josh who could fund it, I guess. Or sure, let's go help some kids together. I don't know much about kids. Or I should go fix little things I noticed during the demo before I forget. Or I should probably get a new phone in case Mom wants to call tonight. Choices. Choices.
I'm going to say that I should show the robot to Josh.
Yep, can't argue with that. It sounds like a pretty reasonable answer. Turn, hun.
Sorry, I think I need to show this to Josh. Okay, no problem, Asia says. I bet he'll be really excited to see it. He heads out the door. You carry GardyLoo to your car in the Stanford parking lot. It's a typical pleasant, sunny day in Palo Alto, and you wonder what it's like to be a robot looking up at the blue sky for the first time. The palm trees around campus seem to grab his attention as his head swivels to track each one you pass. Palm trees, you tell GardyLoo. Palm trees. he says. GardyLoo turns his attention to the sky. White palm trees? He asks. Oh my god, that's so cute.
It's like a kid. Yeah.
Yes. Clouds, you say.
White palm
Clouds,
trees.
GardyLoo says.
That's
That is
funny.
adorable.
That's funny.
GardyLoo turns his attention to the sun. Blinded, he panics and flails his gun.
Oh my god.
Hey! Oh no!
Oh no.
Hey, look away! You say, guiding his head. Don't look right at the sun. But GardyLoo resists you and continues to struggle to look at the sun. The most
Salient?
salient thing in his vision. After a while, you give up and just resolve to make his attention code a little less single-minded. When you get to the garage, you strap GardyLoo into a child's seat in your ancient Toyota Yaris.
Wow.
You have a child seat in the car.
Yep. Buckle him into
You
a
can put
child
him in the
seat.
little kid seat.
That's funny.
That's adorable.
White palm trees as he looking at the clouds. No,
White
that's
palm
clouds. And then
That is so cute.
He freaks out looking at the sun.
Freaks out over the sun because overstimulated his circuits.
That's funny. The headquarters of the U.S. robots are in a small strip mall on Page Mill Road, right in Palo Alto. Get out of the car and release GardyLoo from the car seat. Josh told you to go around the back where someone has affixated an 8.5 by 11 piece of paper announcing the company name. When you open the door, it plays a little chiptune from The Legend of Zelda that signals
Nice.
that you've signals
Love
that
it.
you've discovered a hidden area. Wow, so it's a hidden area. Cute.
That is cute.
This novel is really cool. The stockroom is a large converted garage where Josh and a few young employees are repacking quadcopter drones of the kind that became popular about 10 years ago among hobbyists and the military. Unpainted bots are stacked in large boxes postmarked from China, and their workflows appears to consist of attaching some grippers to carry a cargo, then repainting and repackaging the bots for sharper image and Sky Mall markets. Might we go ahead and add in today's world? I think adding Amazon would probably fit in there as well.
Yeah.
Anyway, Josh's employees are wearing the uniform Silicon Valley, polo shirts and khaki pants, while Josh is wearing his familiar gray hoodie. He looks somewhat exhausted. Josh, you say. Oh, hey, he says, when he sees it's you. Estimated strength of relationship between Josh and Veronica, says GardyLoo. You've got to remember to remove that debugging code. Oh, he says 57, sorry, is the relationship.
Yeah.
Oh, I got to remember to remove that debugging code, so he doesn't say that all the time. It's funny. Josh looks down at GardyLoo. Who do we have here? Josh's employees, too, seem to be in awe of GardyLoo. One of them looks with chagrin at the drone at his hands, as if realizing that his company is not necessarily at the cutting edge anymore. Josh gives his stalkers a look, and they resume their work. He's like, get back to work. Though you can tell they're listening. This is GardyLoo, you tell Josh. GardyLoo, this is my friend Josh. Pleased to meet you, says GardyLoo. Wow, awesome, Josh says, and the awe in his look is gratifying. Nice to meet you too, GardyLoo. He looks over GardyLoo's construction. So GardyLoo is awesome, but do you have any plans for how we could sell robots just like it? Him, you correct. Josh looks uncertain. Okay, him then. We're going to sell him. He makes a sour face. Sounds a little bad, but okay. You think a robot like GardyLoo would be an excellent laundry robot? Military drone? Artificial pal for people. Like people for lonely people. That's funny. A bodyguard, a masseuse, or a surgeon, or here, I'm going to go ahead and just type in my own robot's profession.
I think the pal.
A pal? Okay. Artificial pal for
Artificial
people.
pal for people.
Alrighty. Boom.
Okay. Huh. He takes a second look. Seems pretty friendly, Josh says. You think he's digging it? I'll still... hold on. I'm still just a startup, mind you, Josh says. Not exactly rolling in dough. He starts ticking off fingers. So let's see. Metal's a little expensive right now, but this little guy is small, so it shouldn't be too much of a problem. GardyLoo does seem like the sort of technology that would put US robots ahead of the game in robotics. He wiggles his finger as if calculating something. 65, 37.5. He slowly shakes his head. Nope, sorry, can't do it. Your choices. Dang, all right, I understand. Want to do something tonight anyway? Look, I'd be willing to change one thing about my robot if it would make a difference to you. Or 3, whatever, I'm out of here.
He's insulted me. He's insulted us, Sarah, with saying that he can't do it. After we put all our hard work into GardyLoo. Dang, I understand. We want to do something tonight anyway. I'd be willing to change one thing about my robot if it would make a difference to you, or whatever. I'm out of here.
Now just look at it for a second. He's talking about metal, but you could always make him plastic if he's just a person.
If it's just that, yeah.
Not
let's see what he wants to change about it. Let's at least maybe see what he wants to find out. Josh shakes his head.
Everyone.
Josh shakes his head. It won't be worth it to either of us. Maybe if we had chosen a different business model, I'd have a different answer for you. I'm sorry. You and GardyLoo say your goodbyes and head back to your place.
He's missing out. Okay. The next day, the new semester begins. Though you're past the point of taking classes, you're a teaching assistant, and that means instead of doing one homework assignment, you grade 50. The students like you more than Professor Ziegler. Well, obviously, he's a jerk. As you put a lot of effort into your comments to make sure they understand what went wrong. You're also busy writing a grant proposal for the National Science Foundation, trying to get an alternate source of funding that doesn't involve the military. Grant proposals are very long, it seems, and require you to make a lot of claims about things you don't actually know yet. You soon realize that while you're busy, GardyLoo could be learning from the internet. The most important thing for machine learning is more data. There's a lot of it out there. Lately, there have been a lot of custom hard drives on the market that are good at quickly retrieving particular kinds of information. What sort of hard drive did you order for GardyLoo's long-term memory? A media-enhanced hard drive, good for quickly recalling faces and memories of events. A multi-blade hard drive that can efficiently store and query a giant amount of data, or an encrypted and tamper-proof hard drive, making it more difficult for GardyLoo to be tampered with or reverse engineered.
Well, first of all, having him learn from the internet, what makes me envision GardyLoo sitting there at a computer watching YouTube, learning YouTube videos. I can. I mean, he's like a little kid.
I like cats.
I like cats. Yeah.
I like keyboard playing cats.
I wonder how he would giggle about a cute little cat on the YouTube video.
No, I like puppy videos.
Right. You say you know which one you would go with. The second one for the amount of data sounds good, but I think we probably want to protect GardyLoo from being turned into an enemy. Or turned into some evil force. So I'm thinking 3. What were you thinking?
That's me too.
Okay, so 3. We're in agreement on that one. All right. Definitely. So we want to make sure that GardyLoo isn't, sabotaged.
Tampered with or reverse engineered.
For personal gain. All right. So both in business and on the battlefield, it can be important not to leak secrets. GardyLoo will have a hard drive that will give miscreants a hard time in reverse engineering your design. Plus military. However, encryption and decryption is slow, and sometimes there will be a noticeable lag before GardyLoo can retrieve relevant memories. Minus 7 degrees. You lay GardyLoo on your kitchen table, unbox the hard drive, and hook it up to his back. He squirms and flails his gun arm as you do this. Now it's time for GardyLoo to learn about the great wide world. You sit GardyLoo down on one of your kitchen chairs and plug him into your apartment's high-speed internet. Oh boy! So he doesn't need to be in front of a computer to see this stuff. To visually see this stuff. You just plug him into the internet, and he learns from the internet. And he just has it wired right in. How will GardyLoo rapidly learn a lot about the world? He will troll the internet randomly, devouring whatever information he finds most interesting. Oh boy.
Oh
Um,
no.
he will watch a ton of television programming and movies from the internet as a fast forward, or in fast forward, sorry. He will undergo a classic K-12 educational curriculum, kindergarten to 12th, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Or he will quickly play all paths in a giant corpus of interactive fiction.
I am going to say 3.
He'll learn a basic
Yeah,
education.
yeah, you want him to have basic educations. That way he knows that clouds aren't wet palm trees.
No, that's true. I
It
can
kind of
definitely.
helps him to know what things are,
Right.
so he knows a threat from a non threat.
Okay. I can agree with that.
It's
Yep.
just me.
All right, let's do it.
Okay. You don't want your young robot growing up on junk after all. You feed him the carefully selected and vetted reading list for the local school system. Because this is a relatively small data set, you've programmed him to make several passes over each grade level of material. At each grade level, as debug output, you have GardyLoo report what he considers the most important thing he learns about each grade. For kindergarten, GardyLoo recites the alphabet and counts to 100. For the first grade, he says reading helps you learn more, and so on. Each grade takes about 10 minutes to fully ingest. Well, wouldn't that be nice if it was that simple? And is followed by an additional 10 minutes of simulated experiences in which GardyLoo tries to make friends, avoids bullies, learns swear words, endures assemblies and pep
Oh yeah.
rallies, and gets picked last for dodgeball. Oh, that always sucked. As a
Uh,
result, GardyLoo appears to be learning a little bit of everything.
cool.
He spends the most time of all considering 12th grade, until he finally says, whether to exist or not is the most important question. GardyLoo blinks and looks at you. What is the answer, Master? Is it better to exist or not? Hamlet did not answer this for me. You are floored by the question. You are hardly able to speak. It worked! GardyLoo looks at you expectantly, wondering whether it is better to be or not to be. It is better to be. There is so much in the world for you to experience. It is better not to be, but misery loves company. There are some questions that are unanswerable, or that is a question you'll have to decide for yourself.
Hmm.
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 What do you think?
Better to exist or not?
Yes,
I'm
to
going to
be
say
or
I'm
not
going to
to
let
be?
him
That
decide
is
for
the
himself.
question.
I'm going to let him decide this for himself to keep it
Okay.
interesting. Right. We got an achievement down here. Shakespearean. Discussed. Okay. But why can't you?
Disgustingly.
He says, but why can't you simply tell me? He asks. I've given you the ability to decide that for yourself. You say. You should use it. Then you think to yourself, and if you figure it out, perhaps you can tell me. Very well. He says, and very well, master. All right. So, your turn.
You establish a habit of bringing GardyLoo with you to your office during the day so that he can make use of Stanford's high-speed internet connection while you write and grade papers. You then usually go to some public space after work so that GardyLoo can play around in the real world. Where do you take GardyLoo? The park playground. GardyLoo will enjoy the playground equipment and should learn to play well with others. The shooting range. GardyLoo should learn to fire his gun arm. The dump. GardyLoo could help me look for more spare parts.
Hmm. I am going to say, if we have a gun arm, I think that's going to be the most important right now. I think we need to get control of that. So we're going to go to the shooting.
Okay.
Even though I think the first one would be more interesting.
Mm-hmm.
You know what? We're going to do the first one. I'm changing my mind. We're going to do the more interesting one.
Okay.
Even though this is the more logical one, I think.
Yeah,
All right.
true. Welcome to the stream, those who are watching. Please feel free to say hello. We'd like to know who's here.
Make sure you like that video too, guys. Or like this stream if you're watching and enjoying the content. All right, so we've chosen to go to the playground. GardyLoo loves the playground. and he lets out a robot chortle of glee when he first learns to kick his legs and swing higher and higher. That's cool. I can imagine them sitting there in a swing, learning how to actually swing back and forth. That's great. The other parents at the playground are somewhat divided about what to think about GardyLoo, I can imagine. On one hand, you have the parents who are in the tech industry and who are often very excited to have their children interact with robots. They're surprised to see a robot like GardyLoo, but maybe not as surprised as they should be. Maybe they're just jaded by Wired articles, the magazine, and the popular press making it seem like GardyLoo was possible 10 years ago. On the other hand, some parents simply accept GardyLoo's presence as just one of the many things they quite don't understand yet. The kids themselves don't really seem to care what their parents think. You've got the kids who cry when their parents shove them towards GardyLoo, and the kids who want to stay when their parents pull away. You can't really predict who's going to like GardyLoo and who won't, but GardyLoo seems to be learning, picking up on subtle cues, and that sometimes he says goodbye before the kids have even turned to run. Plus sympathy. You finish your grant proposal for the National Science Foundation, promising a robot that will be able to understand human emotion better than any robot that has come before. A few weeks later, you find a form letter email in your inbox. We're sorry to inform you, many excellent applications this year encourage you to apply again. Discouragingly, you find that many of the reviewers talk about your advisor instead of you. Some of them barely seem literate, while others seem, what's that word? Erudite? But it just doesn't.
I'm not for sure what that word is.
I don't even know what that word means.
I'm sure I do, but I'm not recognizing it at the moment.
Erudite. Okay, well, so I've done this before in some of these games, guys. Bear with me here while we find out what the hell erudite means. Because
I'm already looking.
Yep.
Having or showing great knowledge or learning.
And
Erudite.
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 Erudite, okay.
You
Great
learned
knowledge you're
pronounce.
learning. Alright, so discouragingly, you find that many reviewers talk about your advisor instead of you. Some of them barely seem literate, while others seem erudite, but just didn't pay attention to what you wrote. The one thing that strikes you as directly aimed at you, though, is that a few of the reviewers essentially say that your work could be more focused. You're interested in too many things, one says. Science is about studying a very specific problem to death. It sounds like your robot wants to do everything. You close your email client and sigh. You're in your office and GardyLoo is seated in your ever-absent office mate's chair with his eyes closed, listening to information flowing through his Ethernet cable. You say, "Do you want to try everything, GardyLoo?" He peeks through one eye open and says, "Yes, master." You nod. "Me too."
No, I didn't have a choice. You're in your office contemplating what to do about this when Professor Ziegler opens the door without knocking. You smell the whiff of smoke on his Hawaiian shirt. "We need to talk funding," Professor Ziegler says, grabbing a swivel chair to straddle the wrong way. He sidles up to GardyLoo, whose eyes are closed as he explores the internet through his Ethernet cable. When Ziegler's swivel chair squeaks, GardyLoo perks up and looks at him, but Professor Ziegler pays him no attention. "Your robot here is simply not appealing enough to DARPA," Professor Ziegler says. "It's too friendly." GardyLoo sinks a little in the chair. "Oh, no!"
He's down. He's thinking he's not worth anything.
Oh, Professor's a-hole.
Yeah.
Professor Ziegler pays him no heed.
Aww.
Now, in crafting a message, you just have to make sure the audience doesn't hear more than one thing at a time, Professor Ziegler says. Right now, we're saying two things. This is a good robot for military, and this is an emotional robot. What we need to do is tone down the emotional part so the military angle comes through more. You might think we need more military. You might think we need more military. We actually just need to be less emotional. Very easy. Two choices. You're asking me to reduce GardyLoo's empathy from 13 to 9? No way, not happening. Or, I suppose it's the only way. I'll complete my education. I'll do it.
So basically, what we're saying is, I am taking both hands and I am flipping this guy off with both hands, and I'm saying, no way in hell are we reducing his empathy. He needs a personality. Fuck off.
Yeah.
Bam. Easy choice.
Oh,
Professor
yeah.
Ziegler's eyes narrow. You privileged students are all the same. You think this is all for your own benefit, but someone pays your salary at the end of the day. Or, at least he used to. Wait, used
You
to,
knew
you
this was
ask?
going to happen.
I'm letting you go, Professor Ziegler says. You're too much of a problem student. You're done here. Wait, you're firing me, you demand? But I'm a student. You can't fire me. And he says, I can stop supporting your tuition and ensure you don't graduate, Ziegler says. It amounts to the same thing. I'll just find a different advisor, you say impulsively. Yeah, good luck with that, Ziegler says. They'll ask me what kind of student you were, and I'll tell them that you were just a problem. You look back and forth between GardyLoo and Professor Ziegler in disbelief. You have no idea what GardyLoo can even do. Uh, and I never even showed you. Get it through your head, Professor Ziegler suddenly barks. I don't need you. I can find other graduate students. So can everybody else. GardyLoo, say something. Ooh, man, it's getting tense.
I knew you were going to, that was going to happen as soon as you made that choice.
You knew that, yeah. Oh, we gotta have some drama,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yeah.
All right, continue.
GardyLoo looks back and forth between you and your advisor, who is ostentatiously practicing disinterest in GardyLoo. He hesitantly suggests estimated strength of relationship between Veronica and Professor Ziegler, 33. I'm just trying to be brutally honest with you, Professor Ziegler says. There is no point in getting a PhD after you stop getting along with your advisor. Take your consolation prize, masters. You're done here. He leaves your office and you realize that he's probably right. There really is no point in staying with him anymore. Your classes are done. You never really learned anything from Professor Ziegler at all, except the ways in which graduate school is unfair. Please help
Aw.
me pack my things, you say softly to GardyLoo. He does.
Wow. Please help me pack my things. GardyLoo helps pack your things. Damn.
Yep, I will be right back. I gotta plug in my power supply. Hang on.
All right, no problem. I got a wall of text to read here. You get some choices at the end of this. We will wait for her to return here in just a minute, guys. We will wait for her. Dog is barking. My dog's not barking in return. Amber, you're a good dog, huh? I swear my neighbors have an idiot dog.
Okay, I apologize.
Welcome
My
back.
own little mini robot was about dead.
Yeah, we don't need your little mini GardyLoo dying.
Yeah.
All right. So welcome back. We're gonna go ahead and read this wall of text. You got some choices. I figured you might want to listen because you got choices.
Yes.
And it's
Thank
getting
you.
interesting, by the way, as well, I think. You spend the next few days preparing to move. Professor Ziegler has reported to the registrar that you are no longer a student, and the school's bureaucracy has quickly decided it is illegal to let you stay on the campus housing. So Josh helps you move. That idiot doesn't know what talent is when he sees it, Josh says, carrying your translucent action figure collection carrying case. I swear you'll be a steal at 3 times the price. You want to come work for me? You just let me know. I'll think about it, you say. While you're busy carrying a heavy box with Josh carrying the other end, you get a call on your new cell phone, which you have now had ample time to purchase. When you have set the box down, you check your voicemail. Hey Veronica, this is Mark over at sfchronicle.com. I heard you have an interesting robot that you've been taking to the park, and I'd love to do a story about it. Please give me a call back. He lists a number, and the message ends. You glance over at GardyLoo, who looks distant as he listens to the Wi-Fi signal floating through the Ethernet. Who is service? Says sfchronicle.com is registered to the San Francisco Chronicle, says GardyLoo. The San Francisco Chronicle is a newspaper that started a website in 1994, 24th in national circulation. He looks at you with interest. Mark is a reporter. That's cool that you could just ask, because he's got the internet right there, you just ask him what's
Yeah.
up, and he tells you about it.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Well, that's interesting. If Professor Ziegler cares so much about his image, then tarnishing that image would be one way to get back at him. Ooh. Uh, Bayesian reasoning over publication rates suggest reporter's full name is Mark Ally, GardyLoo says with his eyes closed. Mark's article with most social media likes is How I Learned to Stop Worrying and Love DARPA. Article explains that DARPA stands for Defense Advanced Research Projects Agency. He hesitates for a moment. Aforementioned article appears to contradict title. Reporter does not seem to have stopped worrying. Adjectives that bind to nouns describing DARPA and its projects: crazy, Orwellian, imperialistic. Overall sentiment analysis is negative. Thank you, GardyLoo, you say. You look the guy up on your phone. The picture you find of the stubbly, young Egyptian man with tousled black hair, hipster glasses, and a cigarette between his lips is probably outdated. But the disrespect for authority the man radiates is probably timeless. You admit a part of you has always wanted to be famous, but you suspect this reporter also has done his homework about your advisor and may already have an intended angle for his story. Still, nobody on the planet has a robot as amazing as yours. Isn't it time you told the world about him? You play the message back again a few times, mulling it over. So, what are we doing, sir? I call Mark and set up an interview. Our media attention is just a distraction. I'd rather continue to take GardyLoo to the park and pretend this never even happened. I must protect GardyLoo from the media. GardyLoo must stay in my apartment from now on. Or, I'll let GardyLoo decide. Interesting choice here.
This is an interesting choice.
Probably a big choice, too.
Well, he obviously has a distaste for DARPA.
This media guy, Mark, yeah.
Yeah. Which is who Professor Ziegler was all up in. So, yeah, he probably does already have an intended angle.
Right, an agenda.
But it might not be so bad. Especially once he knows why Dr. Ziegler let you go. But then again, it's always good to protect Gardy. But Gardy is also the one who does very well about running statistics. Because he doesn't have, the emotional aspect in it like she does. This is a hard one. You know what? I'm gonna say to set up an interview.
Okay. Sounds good to me. All right.
Okay. Hey, mine's really simple. Mark, hi, it's Veronica. I think I have a story for you.
Interesting. I like it. I like that choice you made with that. I like that, guys. So, guys, that is the end of chapter 2. So, I want to thank you guys for watching, those of you that are here. And I don't know if Kessels is still here, but he's the only one who said hi. Hopefully, people are enjoying our playthrough of Choice of Robots, a visual, not a visual novel, a text adventure. I do very much plan to finish. I was looking over YouTube videos earlier today, guys, and I don't think I saw that anybody. I saw a couple of people that did a couple of chapters with Choice of Robots, but I didn't really see that. I don't know if anybody actually finished it as far as making videos on this game. Choice. I'm sure somebody did. Choice of Robots. Let's just say chapter 5. Robots, chapter 5. So Yeah, there's a few. Well, that's only no. That's part one, chapters 1 through 4. So somebody has finished it because somebody made part 15, but it doesn't look like there's a whole lot of people up there. Yeah, so this is just chapter 1, and we have a walkthrough, chapter 5. But there's not a whole lot of people that have done a full playthrough of Choice of Robots. Sarah and I will add to the number of options for people to listen to in the future as we continue to play Choice of Robots with GardyLoo. I think it's getting pretty interesting, Sarah. It's
It is.
this whole interview with Mark sounds pretty interesting.
Oh, I hope so.
Curious to see what happens. Guys, expect us to continue with Choice of Robots in the coming weeks. No telling when we're going to do the next one. It'll probably be next week sometime. But
More than likely, yeah.
So be sure
tomorrow is our normal Friday stream. So.
Yep.
Yep.
So thanks so much for watching, guys. Be sure to comment down below if you're still here. If you're watching this video after we record it, even if it's 5 years after we recorded it, let us know what you think. Thanks so much for watching, everybody. We'll see you in the next one.
Bye,
Take care,
everyone.
everybody.